Claudia here with my second YouTube video, and today I'm going to show you Autumn Whispers. That's my newest digital kit that I've put together on Etsy, and my Etsy shop is called Whispers and Reverie Co. And I hope you'll check it out. This kit is pretty much my common theme with journaling, that there's a pretty woman, there's a cat, and a house, and it has a vintage vibe to it. But this one is focused on fall, which I'm in Florida and it is so hot here, but I know it's coming. I can see the light changing outside, and I'm really excited to think about soon the air is going to be a little bit crisp and we're going to see some of these beautiful fall colors around here. So this kit is, everything you get in this kit is in this journal. I wanted to create a kit that you didn't have to use multiple kits to put something together. So it's all in here, and when you buy the kit you can put it together any way you want, but it's sized and put together so that this is the general layout that you may come up with. So the only thing that's not included are things like this ribbon tie, which is actually a piece of seam binding, which, because I used to sew a lot, I have so much left over, so I've started using it. And also some lace, which you can easily find at estate sales or in thrift stores. People turn in their crafting items and those things are added. So here's the front cover. Has a lady with the cat on it, some trim. This is a picture of vintage lace, which really turned out nice. It's has a lot of depth to it, so it looks like it has texture, but then it doesn't, of course. I did take some of these, like these pictures here, and lightly wash them with some instant coffee mix just to get a little bit of wrinkling and aging to it, but that's a personal choice. So when you open it, I've got quite a bit of hidden journaling space. This one is, well, here's a picture of the house, and I made a little card with some coffee dyed paper. The kit, actually, I included some coffee dyed paper in the kit and some watercolor paper that I made and scanned in. So if you don't want to create that yourself and get a little messy, there will be some of this paper in the kit for you to print out. And then here's an old carpeting receipt, which I thought was kind of cool for an old house, and more journaling space in this little pocket. Let's get you down in there. And then here's a pretty lady, and journaling space on the back side of this. And here's another coffee dyed paper with some lace and a little bit of that vintage lace printable. This is like an old book cover image. Here's more pictures of her house, the interior staircase, which is beautiful. Look at that. They don't build them in like they used to, right? More journaling space, a little invitation of sorts. And I just have those clipped up here with this little kind of antique clip, which you can buy at the craft store. And here's some roses, black and white photo, more journaling space, some pretty sheet music. This is the center where I tied it with some embroidery thread. So this is all put together and sewn through, and then that piece of lace is covering the thread on the back. but pretty easy to take a needle and go through this paper. And I doubled the thread and then just went through once and tied it. And look at her pretty walking on the fall path. And I mounted it on a piece of coffee dyed paper. There's always a cat, you know, that's a little bit of happiness for me. So here's a cat photo, little butterfly teasing the cat, a little pretty piece of image of vintage wallpaper. This is like a little receipt from when she took a watercolor class and an oil painting class. Maybe she painted this bird, I don't know. And that's mounted. Here's one of the watercolor sheets that you'll get a scan of. An old little French ticket. More journaling space. Writing here. Now this was, I have, like I said, I have lots of embroidery threads, so I just kind of made a little ruffle inchworm thing and then I glued it on here, and I kind of like the way this was hanging off here because it added a little pop of color and maybe suggests what her dress would have had, maybe had some of this kind of goldish fabric on there. And this is a pocket too, mounted on the some of the watercolor paper in the kit that I included. And it has like a fade of antiqued and maybe just a little bit of teal on the edge. Just, I like the way that adds a little bit of color up there and talks to the pocket. And then this is the final page with some drawings of pottery, architectural drawings. And I put these together with a little tack, but some little rip pieces of the watercolor paper for maybe making a few little inspirational writings on. This is in the kit too, this blue paper. Made a little pocket out of the watercolor paper and some more writing space. Yeah, so I really like the way she turned out, and I think it's definitely a mood, and I look forward to seeing what everybody else does with this kit. And I'm thinking I might even create a second autumn kit because it's one of my favorite seasons. So keep your eye out for that. Again, my Etsy shop is called Whispers and Reverie Co. And this kit is available, and I hope that you love it. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.